What is good, y'all? Mikey T, the movie star here, and we got to go over something kind of crazy. Mike Knox, you are the weakest link. That's right, Mike Knox, the latest member of G Unit to be unfollowed by 50 Cent. And yesterday, I got to correct myself from yesterday's live because now I can honestly say that the word notorious is associated with 50 Cent's name, you guys. Because the word notorious is associated with 50 Cent. Because let me tell you, that man is notorious for kicking members out of G Unit. He's notorious for it. He's been kicking artists and affiliates out of G Unit since the label actually began. And now, a day after Rick Ross's video drops on the internet where he scurried away as his MMG affiliates were getting paws put on him, 50 Cent decided to react to Mike Knox's video. You see, 50 Cent was going to leave that video alone. Mike Knox, you were almost safe. You were almost safe, little homie. But 50 Cent had to save face. You were almost safe, but 50 had to save face. You dig? 50 Cent had to save face because a lot of people were going to say, oh, 50, why are you clowning Rick Ross for getting jumped? Why you clowning Rick Ross for what happened to him in Canada when your artist, Mike Knox, got punked in his own city? Why are you clowning Rick Ross over Drake-affiliated goons, whether they're really with Drake or not, whether they were just sticking up for Canada, Canada Day and all that? You know what I mean? Hometown hero vibes. They wouldn't do the same for Rick Ross in Miami, and apparently they won't do the same for Mike Knox in Philly. Because after Mike Knox went and did Philly First 48 with Johnny Mac, he got hemmed up. He talked about blocking. I guess he talked about blocking Ape Gang Garcia. He talked about actually blocking him on social media. Yeah, you know what I mean? That's kind of some coward shit. Mike Knox also blocked me as well when he found out that I used to deal with Bangum Smurf. It was pretty weak. That's hilarious. We got some shit to talk about today, you guys. Mike Knox's page is getting just totally littered with people dissing him. His lives, people are commenting, your clothes were dirty when you apologized. Did you get accosted? And then lo and behold, there's all types of memes. There's all types of videos going out there with people mimicking what happened to Mike Knox. And 50 Cent posted one of those videos, you guys. 50 actually posted one of those videos and he said, no, y'all got to see this. Y'all got to see this. He said, I'm a turkey burger. This shit is getting wild out here. 50 Cent actually had to post this video. And the video in question actually has a dude portraying Mike Knox and another dude portraying Garcia. And the guy portraying Garcia is actually jacking Mike Knox up against the wall. And he's like, yo, what it is. And Mike Knox's character is saying, let me apologize. To which Garcia replies, well, then you can apologize on camera. And then the whole thing goes on with Mike Knox. It's pretty much what he said in the actual video, where Mike Knox was like, we had a serious conversation, that I was out of pocket, that I was out of line, that I was disrespecting Meek Mill. And then Garcia adds that you were getting on the Meek Mill hate train. So all of this is literally verbatim. This is literally exactly what Mike Knox said on camera, even though he was trying to make it look cool. Even though Mike Knox was trying to make it look cool, you guys, if you're in here, hit that like button, show some support to the channel. One of the first things dude said was, I had a crew neck and now I got a V-neck. That's what everybody first recognized from this video, that Mike Knox's shirt was a little bit more torn, not torn, but a little bit more it looked like it was stretched out than usual. It was like something definitely happened to your shirt. Did you tell them no, you wouldn't do a video and recording? Did it strike you that 50 Cent just literally was in a beef with who you are now being confronted by? Yeah, I think it did hit you, because the only reason you actually dissed Meek Mill is because he started going back and forth with 50. You thought maybe 50 would give you a call if you dissed Meek Mill or something? Weren't you just with Meek Mill at Gilly's spot? All right, so somebody actually commented on this. And I'm going to read a bunch of the comments, actually. Somebody actually said on 50's actual Instagram, they said, Mike said Garcia guy is his friend of 20 years. That man is not his friend. With friends like this, you don't need enemies. That is some of the realest shit I ever read on 50's page. That is just real right there. If you got friends like this, because dude's literally on there calling him a friend of 20 years. Well, that friend, he must be a friend of 20 years because he found you in 20 minutes. Because he found you in 20 minutes and he ruined any association that you ever had with 50 Cent. But more importantly than that, he ruined all the credibility that you have on the internet. All that smack you've been talking since you've been home in 2019, the reason that you blocked me on social media, because you wanted to remain hard to 50 Cent. Pause. No Diddy. 50 took you out shopping. No Diddy. $50 took you out shopping. No Diddy. But anyways, let's get back to this comment, because the guy says some very interesting stuff. He said, your friend would not allow you to humiliate yourself on camera for the world to see. Meek disrespected Mike Knox first, and Mike Knox responded. He definitely didn't need to apologize. Yeah, it's sounding to me like the dude that you're calling a 20-year friend is actually Meek Mill's friend, Mike Knox. But I get it. You want to make everything look cool on camera. That's just how it is. You even look to the camera and start showing off to the camera like it's cool. Like, come on. I don't like the facade. I don't like when someone tries to lie to my face directly. Everybody that's in here, hit the like button. It's the kid, Mikey T, the movie star. So the dude on the comment says he definitely didn't need to apologize. If there was going to be an apology, it should have been with both Meek and Knox. It was done this way to make Mike Knox look bad publicly, and it did. His intent was definitely to humiliate him and end his relationship with 50. That's interesting. They say that at the end of ruin his relationship with 50. That's how a lot of people do things. They're like, yo, this is the one thing. This is your one saving grace. The only thing that Mike Knox really has, because we all know that he's not really affiliated with the Dream Chasers outside of a couple videos and pictures we've seen. Now let's bring it back to them saying that Mike Knox and Meek Mill should actually meet up. That's something that I believe actually did happen. They did meet up. They were talking about meeting up. Meek Mill was like, where you at? Mike Knox was like, where can I come see you? They had started going back and forth. Meek actually responded to Mike Knox. So that's where it really should have been settled. But what brought this beef back up? This beef was brought back up because 50 Cent actually just dissed Meek Mill when Meek Mill came back at 50, Meek Mill said some shit about 50 being a rat. We'll get into it in a second. Yo, what's good? I appreciate Chief Red Hair, Brown Eyes. I appreciate it on the YouTube super chat. That's love right there. He said, salute, Mikey. What on God's earth happened to you? You look like Wolverine after a night out in Miami with Johnny Bravo. Hey man, I decided to grow the hair out. I'm not going to be doing the fades anymore. You know what I'm saying? I decided to do the whole Jersey blowout thing, I guess they call it, man. I appreciate the super chat for real. I appreciate everybody that's in here to hit the like button as well. One guy in the chat said Knox is a stand-up dude. If you want your comments read, just send in a simple super chat, whatever the hell the super chat is. I respect it. Salute to Detroit in the building as well. We got a lot to talk about today, you guys, because Mike Knox is pretty much getting clowned all over his social media. He's getting clowned all over his social media, just like he tried to clown Meek Mill all over his social media. He thought he could take a page out of 50's book. And look what happened to you. You got humiliated. The game is chewing you up and spitting you out right now, Mike Knox. I mean, you could come in here and have a conversation with me, though, if you want, though, Mike Knox, because the two of us had spoke before. You did call me when you were in the halfway house about to come out. We had spoke, the two of us, and we were supposed to do some work. Did 50 know you were dealing with somebody that used to work with Bang'em Smurf? Did 50 know that? I worked with other G Unit members before. I known dudes from 50's hood. So that shit is just unauthentic. I know Trigger Ock from Queens. You heard? I know real dudes from 50's hood. I know people that have worked on the G Unit label. I've done interviews with Kid. I've done interviews with Hot Rod. I've done interviews with Billy Danz of MOP. Like, it ain't no thing to do an interview with Mikey T. I don't show any favoritisms. I do interviews with dudes from Maybach, dudes from G Unit, dudes formerly of Death Row, rappers signed to Shady Records. I don't discriminate when it comes to what record label you were signed to. I've worked with people from Disturbing the Peace. I've worked with all of these, We the Best. I've worked with all of these labels. I never let anything hold me back from working with somebody. Somebody in Mike Knox's chat said, Garcia got the bag on his head and he doesn't even know it. The dude is your friend of 20 years. Well, you know what? I think you should have picked up the phone to your friend of 20 years before writing a mile-long diss on somebody that he's been affiliated with for the past 20 years. He's been affiliated with Meek Mill since I was running around Philly, and I met Garcia, and I exchanged phone numbers with Garcia. You know what I'm saying? But I don't run around acting like I'm cool with Garcia, because I'm not necessarily cool with Meek. I did some clown ass shit to Meek one time when I tried to tell him that French Montana was better than him. It was 2013. Excuse my French was dropping. French Montana was selling out all the shows. It wasn't Meek. Meek was a part of Maybach Music. Meek was going off, and I was like, yo, Meek, French Montana got you right now. He got you right now. Meek was ignoring the hell out of it, though, and Meek remembers that. But I'll go ahead and publicly apologize to Meek about that. I was obviously wrong about that one. French is my dogs and all that, but Meek is an artist of you know what I mean? He's a very important artist to this industry. So I'm going to go ahead and say I was wrong on that one. But you, Mike Knox, you tried to jump on the G Unit train a little bit too late, homie. One of the first things you said in your Ramik diss track was, I'm going to tell everybody something. G Unit! Why did it take you that long to claim G Unit? You had since 2019 when you came home to set everything off. But even let's fast forward. Even when you beefed with Gunplay, you said, I'm cool with Meek Mill, though. That shit is weak, man. If you're going against one, You're going against them all, man. You wanted to pick and choose what members of MMG you're going at? 50 don't play like that. We don't play like that from the East Coast. I know you think shit is sweet, Mike Knox, but look how you just got served up. You just got served up by the same people you were trying to protect for the last 6 years. I don't care. You can say what you want. You tried to put Meek Mill on the phone with 50 Cent. Nothing came of that. You were the one in front of 50 Cent's face. You should have been presenting yourself, not Meek Mill. That doesn't make no kind of sense. You have an opportunity in front of Boo Boo. You got an opportunity in front of Curtis. You got it when he was Mr. Interscope and you're trying to tell him about another man. That's some sucker shit. I'm going to be real with you. I'm Mikey T, the movie star. I am the entity. I am the entity. While they all talk about Drake and Rick Ross, I've been around Drake and Rick Ross. So listen, someone said, we need the boxing match with Garcia. I'm going to put it up in the chat right now. Let me put it up in the chat. Who do y'all think would win in a boxing match with Garcia and Mike Knox? I'm going to put the poll up right now. I'm putting the poll up. Y'all can vote. I'm putting the poll up. Y'all can vote right now. Let me know who you think got it. And also, I want to know in the chat, who do you think was the worst person, the worst decision 50 ever made to kick out of G Unit? Was it Hot Rod when he flopped the Mary J. Blige record and he didn't know the lyrics to Wanksta and he told him, sit down, Hot Rod. Sit down. Was it Bang'em Smurf when Bang'em Smurf wouldn't stop banging dudes upside the head, running around getting in fights with tour managers? Was it The Game? Who the hell kicks somebody out of their record label that just sold 500,000 copies first week? Was it Young Buck? The guy he fired out of G Unit, the guy he kicked out of G Unit before Terminate on Sight, the second album even dropped. I would have to say Mike Knox probably falls right around the level of 40 Glock, who 50 Cent quietly disassociated himself with after that whole melee happened with The Game and 40 Glock. Y'all remember that? 40 Glock was on all the magazines. 40 Glock was on all the magazines before that incident happened with The Game. What happened after that? It all dried up. He couldn't talk about repping G Unit West no more, Harder Than the Game. He couldn't fake it anymore to get on a magazine cover. But what can I say, man? I did interviews with 40 Glock back in the day, and we ran it up. All my interviews with 40 Glock have close to 1 million views, like 500, 600,000 views. I ran it up with 40 Glock. I started noticing when I was working with Hip Hop Weekly magazine, Dave Mays and shit, Benzino actually down there introducing me to BG, getting me an interview with BG. Yeah, Zeno did a few things for me. You know what I mean? When I was working with Hip Hop Weekly magazine, I noticed he found a way to get himself on the cover. I'm like, holy shit. I don't think Mike Knox has ever been on a magazine cover, though. I don't think Mike Knox has ever even had a record with somebody the stature of Mary J. Blige, like Hot Rod did. I don't think Mike Knox ever even had a conversation with 50 like Spider Loke did. Spider Loke did about, yo, your album's going to be ready. You know what I'm saying? Spider Loke at least had that conversation. Now Bang'em Smurf, maybe Bang'em Smurf got the shaft. Pause. So let's talk about it. 50 actually posted the video of two dudes mocking his artist, Mike Knox. And I got word, y'all, from one of my guys, my dude, who actually, you know, because Mike Knox not unfollowed me. He blocked me on social media, just like he did Garcia, because he does that chicken shit stuff. But he like blocks people. You know what I mean? He's lame as hell. He blocks people. Some lame shit like that. He blocked me after calling my phone for like mad hours and talking to me like, yo, we're going to do this, that, and third, Mikey T. He blocks me on social media and acts like acts like he doesn't even exist. Because it's not me that doesn't exist. Believe me, it's not me that doesn't exist. It is you that doesn't exist, homie. You know what I mean? I've been over here existing the whole time. He's just been waiting on 50 to pick him up in that weirdly wrapped Lamborghini over and over again. Like, come on, man. You can't just keep on waiting on 50 Cent your whole career. One dude in the chat said, I'd never even heard of Mike Knox. Well, I mean, what can you say? You know what I mean? Mike Knox has actually gone into interviews and said, when you look up the name Mike Knox, you come up with a wrestler. You know what I mean? He actually said that in his interviews rather than keep on working on his career. So that's not the case. So anyways, my boy who, I don't think he follows Mike Knox, but Mike Knox blocked me, so I couldn't see it. But I heard all the rumblings. 50 Cent unfollows Mike Knox. 50 unfollows Mike Knox. I'm like, are you serious? First of all, first thing that crossed my mind is, did he ever really follow him in the first place? You know what I mean? Mike Knox will probably make a video responding to this and be like, well, the truth is 50 never followed me in the first place. Well, how sad is that? How sad is that, Mr. I Had a Song in Power? 50 didn't follow you in the first place. Damn, homie. 50 didn't follow you on the gram, homie. Fuck happened to you? Yo, you handle 50's vendetta. Remember the whole situation with Gunplay at the BET Awards? I hope he gave you some cheddar. You handled 50 vendetta. I hope he gave you some cheddar. You know what I'm saying? But then you ended up in jail, so it doesn't even make sense. And then you allegedly told 50 not to handle your case. Where they do that at? Where they do that? I'm about to call my boy right now and ask him. I'm about to call my boy. Yo, bro, I'm about to call you. You mind if I put you on camera? Text me right now because you know who I'm talking to. I'm about to call my boy. Now, they do that in New York? Oh, no, Mike Knox is from Philly. I'm going to have to call Gilly. I'm going to have to call Gilly. But I texted Gilly, but I didn't get the text back. I texted Gilly, but I didn't get the text back. We all saw what happened to Mike Knox. I guess Gilly don't want to stress that. You know why I'm hitting Gilly up, man. I had to let Gil know, yo, Meek ain't soft. Meek ain't soft, man. So I take it back. I take it back, Meek. Whatever the hell I might have done, whatever I might have done to Meek Mill, I take that back, man. Cut that. Meek Mill is a legend, bro. Meek Mill is a legend to me. I don't give a damn what 50 Cent says about him selling 6,000 copies and he shouldn't be in an island. My guy, Keen Streets, was just celebrating, I think, his birthday in Dubai. Shout out to Keen Streets, and make sure you go check out his new EP. I sacrificed a lot to get here. Bird Gang shit. Shout out to Jim Jones. I seen him at the AEW event. Brrr! Bird Gang shit. You know what I'm saying? That's what it is. But let's get back to this because 50's clowning his own artist. But that's not unusual. So, Mike Knox, I don't want you to feel alone, baby. Don't feel alone, baby. You're in good company. If you consider an ex-stripper, alleged stripper, somebody who is like Young Buck, a dude that's deported and he's doing a bunch of crazy ass shit in Trinidad. If you consider that good company, then you're in good company, homie. Maybe Lloyd Banks will do a song with you still. Maybe Lloyd Banks will do a song with you still. So Knox. Mike Knox actually said this on his live video to defend the situation. And everybody in here, hit that like button, man. Hit that like button one time. Mike Knox decided to do the apology. He's talking about himself in third person, even though like a dude in the chat says he doesn't even know who Mike Knox is. Mike Knox decided to do the apology. Are you talking about like a storyline in wrestling featuring the Mike Knox superstar? He's saying Mike Knox decided to do the apology. There is nobody that can make me apologize. He said that this is what Mike Knox wanted to do. When you're a real one, you stand on real shit. Yeah, I'm sure you did want to apologize. I'm sure you did want to apologize. As soon as them dudes pulled up to the same block as you, as soon as them dudes pressed you, whether they touched you and wrinkled your bullshit ass white tee or not, you sure as hell wanted to apologize. You want to know something about me? You want to know I'm cut from, lil homie? I don't ever want to apologize. You're going to have to leave me on the street. You're going to have to leave me slammed into the wall. I don't ever want to apologize. That's the difference between me and you, Mike Knox. That's why 50 won't have a real one like Bang'em Smurf in G Unit, and he'll let you tag around for a little bit. He'll let you tag along for a little bit. Everybody in here, hit that like button if you support the channel. And somebody tell Bang'em Smurf to come on back. Tell him to come on back so we can go back to making this history that only we can make. Everybody knows Bang'em Smurf's like my mace. Let's get back to it, though. Salute to Bang'em Smurf. So Mike Knox said he decided to make the apology. So, Mike Knox, you decided to do the death blow to your career? Huh? You decided to do that to yourself? Because you got the whole world, not in your hand, but you got the whole world looking at you crazy right now. Everybody, the last 10 years, you've been bragging about Gunplay. You've been bragging about, oh, I beat Gunplay up at the BET Awards. I beat Gunplay up at the BET Awards. You've been bragging about that. You've been salty about the fact that Gunplay got the interview with the Breakfast Club and you never did. Homie, there's a reason you never did. You did it to yourself. You told 50 not to put the money up for your defense. Is that what you said in an interview? You're going to have to correct that because that sounds like some of the corniest shit I ever heard of. So someone commented, 50 doesn't care. You picked Meek Mill's side and you're not loyal. You picked Meek Mill's side right after he called 50 a rat. Yo, Mike Knox, are you insane? Are you insane, Mike Knox? You literally apologized and said you were wrong for jumping on the Meek Mill hate train when just weeks ago, Meek Mill, a week and a half ago, I reported on the story, a week and a half ago, he said that man snitched on Supreme. Are you crazy? 50 didn't snitch on Supreme. And the man you're vouching for on camera said he did. That's weak shit. I wouldn't be surprised if Tony Yayo never picked up another call from you. And he's the first one to jump on your mixtape. I don't give a damn if you had some solidarity because the both of you are from Philly. That man just called your CEO, but it's more than a CEO to you because you look at Curtis like he's a friend. He called the man that is really your friend for the last 20 years, 10 years. How you talk that bullshit about you and Garci the last 20 years. 50 was allegedly really your friend for the last 15 years, even though you were gone for 7 of it. You know what I'm saying? And you discredit him like that. Nobody will ever respect you again for that shit, man. You just bowed down to a man that said that 50 ratted on Supreme. You bowed down to that man. I would have told them to beat me into the ground before you get me bowing down to Meek Mill. And you know that's true. I did it before. But that's probably what's different between I've been getting it in since I was like 5 years old in the kindergarten, 6 years old in the first grade. Who the hell is scared of getting into a little bit of a physical altercation? If you had to take your licking and keep on ticking, as Gilly the Kid said. You know what I mean? If you got to take a couple lumps, I mean, dudes be getting in brawls all the time. Like Bangum Smurf told me. Like, they just used to fight for fun back in the day. They'd run up and be like, yo, we're here fighting. In my town, Connecticut, we used to play football and stuff like that. We wouldn't just meet up and fight. You get arrested doing some shit like that. But that's what Smurf told me. And someone in the chat saying, and if you guys want to get it posted up, send a super chat in. But someone in the chat is saying, was he really in G Unit, to be honest? Was he really in G Unit, to be honest? Yeah, let's be real about it. Was this man even really in G Unit to be kicked out? That's the thing with these record labels nowadays, man. It's like, were you even really in Maybach, man? Were you even really signed to Rockefeller? Were you really working with Dr. Dre? Like, you never put out an album with Kanye West. Were you really signed to, like, so many people are out there bullshitting about their record deals. Someone in the chat said, name one Mike Knox song. Yeah, please. Somebody name one Mike Knox song for me. And please don't say Rameek. Please don't say Rameek, you guys. Because that diss song right there, it was actually more of a talking song. What up, Shizzy? Appreciate y'all. Everybody drop your city and state in the chat. Hit that like button. Let me see what's going on with the poll. It looks like they're saying Mike Knox would get Garcia in a boxing match in the poll, 67% to 33% right now. And, you know, I don't doubt that. Mike Knox is a big dude. You know what I mean? Mike Knox is a big dude, so I don't doubt that he would possibly win a fight. You know what I mean? We don't know who the hell else was there. You know what I mean? Meek Mill has dozens of people that run with him at any given time. We all heard about what happened with Quentin Miller in the shoe store. Oh shit. Let me see. Hold on one second. I gotta send this video link to my boys. Yeah, Bob Marley. Yeah, I like that. Bob Marley show. I could get with that, man. You know I'm a smoker. What's popping with y'all, though? Hit that like button if you're just tapping in. Yeah, Mike Knox, he's the type of guy that kicked me when I was down, if you want to talk about that. Mike Knox was blowing up my phone like, Mikey T, we're going to work. We're going to do this. And then he blocks me out of nowhere, just like he blocked Garcia. That shit's weak. I don't respect that type of shit. So Mike Knox actually spoke on Rick Ross. I got some notes on that. Knox said, when you look at Rick Ross, you're a Carroll City cop. You don't get to have an opinion on me. I'm a real one that stood up, but I understand why you're mad. You're mad because of what I did to your man at the BET Awards, and you still didn't get the chain back. Bro, you got into a fight with a guy that goes who deals with so many demons. Gunplay ran into like 5 of y'all. You know what I mean? Gunplay was probably drunk, just to be real. Probably zoning off of like 5 shots of Fireball. Like, are you still seriously like taking credit for beating up Gunplay? Gunplay is like $140. One time I yelled at Gunplay in his own house. Like, come on, man. Are you 12 years later still taking credit for beating up Gunplay, which you didn't even really do, to be honest with you? The first video footage that we all saw drop was Gunplay with a bunch of pepper spray in his face, and he grabbed you by your back and dragged you on the ground. Why did you get dragged on the ground by somebody that weighed 1/3 of what you weigh? Why'd you get dragged on the ground by somebody who doesn't even lift weights? Come on, man. You're going to sit here and brag about the MMG chain that 50 Cent never even publicly spoke about? No one ever spoke about that dumbass chain that you stole. You didn't even speak about it. And here you are talking about it. Now you missed your window of opportunity, man. G Unit snatching the MMG chain, it's almost like it didn't happen. Like, let's be real. Let's be real. There was one image of that video in the major distribution video with 50 Cent, Jeezy, and Snoop, a video that didn't even go anywhere. Yeah, not for nothing. As my guy in the chat says, salute to you, Zoe. He says, if you were having a hard time with Gunplay. You know what I mean? And there was like 4 of you. Tony Ayo was there. Yeah, you slammed him against the guardrail. Yeah, it is what it is. And then my guy Shizzy says, if you wasn't signed with Interscope, you wasn't in G Unit. I mean, we can't go that far, bro, because 50 tried with somebody like Hot Rod. Like, he tried to put up a record for him so Interscope would actually take interest in his product. That you got to be easy. I'm getting all this cheese and it's nachos. Oh, come on, man. Come on. What is this? The Beavis and Butthead era of making music? You're going to rap about cheese and then just say nachos in the next few. Yeah, and 50 at one point actually said that Hot Rod make music like him if he never started getting in the streets and you know what I mean, doing street activity. Nah, but you see the difference that happened with what happened with Mike Knox. Mike Knox was ready to apologize. Me, I was ready to get up and call Leak Moss out, call King Erner out. That's the difference. That's the difference of the cloth that we're cut from, you guys. I don't get to looking for an apology. I'm not getting to make amends with the whole situation. You know what I mean? I ain't cut from that cloth. Mike Knox should have took his licking and kept on ticking. He should have just like got it in at that point, because Mike Knox just made himself look crazy to 50 Cent. And you want to know something, guys? I really feel like 50 would have ignored this. I think 50 Cent, Leak Moss apologized to me. But on the real, King Erner did hit me up like, yo, you should apologize to Leak Moss. And I was like, no, are you freaking crazy? Where is that how you're built in Philly or something? Because now Mike Knox is apologizing. I don't apologize. You know what I mean? There is a huge difference right there, because, yeah, King Erner hit me up like, yo, apologize, Mikey T. And I was like, no. No, that's not what I'm doing. That's not how I do things, if you want the real. But yeah, so anyways, back to it. Hot Rod sounded like a pause moment. Hot Rod was a cool dude, man. I didn't understand why he did some of the things that he did. Like some of the music was getting a little bit inauthentic. Like when he started working with Maserati Fox and shit, I was like, what? But Mike, are you going to the Trenches event in Philly? Nah, I'm not going to the Trenches event in Philly. I think they have an amazing card though. Hollow the Don on the card. My guy Texago, I'm actually interested to see his battle. Easy on the card. I really feel like they have a great card, man. Why do some of these rappers get their names from wrestlers? Can you give me another example of a rapper who has his name from a wrestler, and I will accurately answer that question for you. But let's move on there, because I wanted to go over that portion of oh my God, Mike Knox telling Rick Ross, you should be worried about the game. Why are you paying attention to what I going on, but you ain't gonna respond to the game? You're the police. You don't get to have nothing when it comes to me. And Mike Knox also added in, Garcia did not grip me up. He expressed that he did not touch me. I see you want to clear that up. Believe me, though, Mike, nobody will ever believe you. Nobody will ever believe you that they didn't grip you up that day. Your shirt was looking just too wrinkly. Back in the day when I had my situation with Tony Sunshine, and I was wearing an old Al Hollister button-down shirt, nobody would believe me that the shirt was just old and wrinkled itself, and I was in New York all day and it was hot. Nobody would believe me. So let me tell you, Mike Knox, nobody is going to believe you about that. No matter how much you want to try to put it out there and flip the narrative, it's just impossible. Let me be real with you. But you are a victim of this for a bad reason. Because I'm going to go on record and say if Rick Ross never got publicly jumped in Canada, hands put on him, I don't think 50 would have ever touched this. If that didn't happen to Rick Ross, 50 would have never posted the video of Ross, and 50 would have also never posted the video of you. The only reason that he posted the video of you was because people were going to call him out if he only posted the video of Ross. That is the 48 laws of power, my dude. You got disassociated with 50 Cent because of that fact. You became a liability when you let that happen to you. I'm just being real with you, man. You became a liability to 50 Cent's brand when that happened to you. Unless you pop up with 50 in a video in a few weeks. You know what I mean? But the thing is, you really threw a monkey wrench into your own plan because you're there apologizing to his op, talking about 20 years of relationship, 20 years that you've been trying to build with G-Unit as well. Come on, man. You've been building with Dream Chasers for 20 years too? What do they got? They got a name for that, right? Isn't it Benedict Arnold? Yeah, you've been building with two crews. You're building with two crews, homie. You got that one by me. You got that one by me. I didn't really know you was really affiliated with either. It goes back to what the homie was saying. If you ain't with Interscope, you wasn't really with G-Unit. Meek Mill commented on this. Meek Mill said, we sticking together this year. Just earlier in the year, Meek Mill was affiliated with you, Mike Knox, and you ruined that for yourself. Mike Knox was forced to say in a video, because there's no other way this could have happened. Mike Knox would never go on the internet and say some shit. This apology video is worse than my apology video. This is long. Mike Knox is trying to be animated, and he's trying to save face. Listen, homie, if you're going to apologize real quick and get it over with. Mike Knox goes, I was out of pocket. I was wrong. I was effed up. I was disrespectful. It wasn't man time. Mike Knox went on. He said, I was caught up in the bullshit with Instagram and being disrespectful. Nah, homie, you just didn't think you would get caught up. You just didn't think you'd get caught up, and you did. Was you slipping? I think you was slipping. You got caught slipping. You should have ordered in. You should have ordered in that night, homie. You should have ordered Uber Eats that night, homie. Mike Knox listing everything that he did wrong. I was caught up in the BS with Instagram and being disrespectful, and we all had something going on together where we were supposed to do something together. What are you talking about? The general public never had any idea about you doing something with Meek Mill. Will you stop the cap? Will you stop the cap? You were never affiliated with Dream Chasers. You were never on the same level as Beanie Siegel. Nobody cares that you fought him in the club. You know what I'm saying? You're not on the same level as Tony Yayo. He hosted your mixtape. People did that all the time back in the day. It was low-key type lame if you needed that. It was low-key type lame if you needed somebody to host your mixtape. And let's be real, Tony Yayo wasn't no Max B on the mixtapes. Tony Yayo wasn't French Montana. Tony Yayo wasn't French Montana on the mixtapes. He didn't have various mixtape scenes that, unless you like Gunpowder Guru, shout out to my brother C's. I think he only like one of those though. What up? What up? What up? What's poppin'? Viral entertainment. What's good? Shizzy Winner. What's up? Hit that like button if you're up in here and supporting the channel. Let's get back into it. Meek Mill said it, and we're all sticking by it. We're sticking together this year. You were just with Meek Mill and Gilly. Shameful. It's shameful that you would go on an Instagram tirade, a whole long paragraph dissing Meek Mill, trying to say all this shit like we're going to buy into what you say over Meek Mill, homie. Meek Mill sold 250,000 copies in a week. Stop trying to front like you're on the same level as that. Like, come on, stop trying to front, man. We got to be real. We got to be real about this thing. Mike Knox said, oh, Garcia actually interjected and says, you got on the Meek Mill hate train. Yep. Meek Mill said some shit about 50. 50 came back and said, yo, you're on an island? You just sold 6,000 copies this week and you're on a vacation? But Meek Mill took a low blow. Meek Mill took a low blow and said that 50 was known as a rat. Bro, 50 is known as a rat by Ja Rule and his homies. Who is this saying this again? Meek Mill? Were you even a fan of Ja Rule? Were you even around in the Ja Rule when you was younger, rapping on the DVDs and shit like that? You was probably a Ja Rule fan, Meek Mill. Let me chill out, though. Because I could see Meek Mill probably jamming out to Always on Time back in the day. Maybe the... Don't tell me about a point, man. I'll make points that the whole industry understands. I lived through this. You didn't even know about Meek Mill when he was younger rapping. We go all the way back on this channel. So Garcia actually jumped on a live and said, I accepted the apology from last night. Hold on one second. Okay, but let's get to the apology. So Mike Knox said, as a man, I apologize. I was wrong. It shouldn't have happened. It's not gonna happen again. I should have got on the phone. I should have had a conversation with you or Meek as a man. I apologize as a man, Garcia. I apologize as a man, and I don't care how people feel from the Batcave days. I was wrong. Okay. That man apologized the hell out of that one. And Garcia accepted the apology. Garcia said, I accepted the apology from last night. It was a lot going on before the cameras came on. That wasn't sneaky recording. Whoa! Whoa, Mike. It looks like to me that Garcia just said there was a lot going on. There was a lot going on before the cameras came on. I think you're going to need to explain what was going on. Because you say nothing. You say nothing happened. Did what happened in the parody video that's on 50 Cent's page? Is that what happened? The parody video that 50 posted on his page. Is that what happened? Be real with us. Did somebody take your shirt and grab it like this and throw you against a brick wall? We all saw the brick wall there. Shit was looking mad rough for you out there in Philly, man. Please don't make us wait for the tell-all. Let us know what happened. Let us know the truth, man. There's going to be no G-Unit autobiography for you, man. So Garcia said the recording had to happen because the disrespect happened that way. You know, it's kind of like the way Mike Knox was marketing himself. Mike Knox thought, oh shit, 50 and Meek are beefing. you know what? I'm going to officially take 50's side now, and I'm going to use this as a marketing ploy. Yeah, that's what he used it as, a marketing ploy to get himself over. That's what some of these dudes do to actually get attention on the internet. He dissed somebody on a record. You know what I mean? He did his little paragraph write-ups before a couple times. Hence the reason he said this will never happen again. But then he just had to do a Meek Mill diss track to see if he really had any traction out there, to see if people really gave a damn. And you want to know what? They didn't. They didn't. Nobody cared about that diss song. That diss song didn't make no waves. 50 Cent didn't even comment on that diss song. Like, come on, man. You're shooting blanks. You're shooting blanks here, man. So he said it happened publicly. That's what was agreed upon. It was like on some, it wasn't on some TMZ shit. He knew what was going on. That was his idea. He said, I disrespected dudes in public. Let me apologize in public. Now, Garcia was asked in the interview, did he go about guiding him through the apology? And basically asking him, did Garcia direct the apology? But I think in that prior statement, Garcia pretty much says he didn't do that. He says Mike Knox wanted to do it. Personally, I kind of feel like Mike Knox, personally, if he was going to get jumped out of this whole situation, I feel like he wanted to do the video to get a little bit more clout. You know what I mean? That's just kind of how I feel. I feel like Mike Knox is all about the clout. You know what I mean? I feel like he's about the clout, because like that's why when he dropped the song Meek, he's like, first off, I want to make this clear. G-Unit. And it was like, what? It was like, what, man? You've literally been saying for the past your whole career that even though Meek is Maybach and your G-Unit, you don't want to beef with him. And now, furthermore, Meek Mill is relatively done with Maybach music. You know what I mean? And then that whole diss on Rick Ross, you never even said no shit like that about Rick Ross before. You never even said nothing about Rick Ross before until just now, until he comments on you getting jumped. Well, what are you going to have to say about 50 Cent posting a parody video of you getting jumped? What are you going to do about 50 posting that? Are you just going to say, oh, it's in good fun? Are you just going to say it was in good fun? 50's a funny dude. Well, what about 50 unfollowing you on Instagram? Everybody's reporting that now. Like, come on, when are we really going to be real about this and not try to hide behind the facade of social media? People go on for years lying about associations and record deals. I'm just tired of it, man. I'm tired of it. Live your real truth. People would actually care about your music more if you lived your real truth. You know how many people run around fronting like they were signed to Maybach, fronting like they were signed to G-Unit, and they just ruin deals for themselves? You know what I'm saying? So Garcia said there were things that people didn't see. We talked before the cameras started rolling. Them things were more personal. The apology was public, being as though the disrespect was public. That's where that came from. There are two sides of it. Knox is probably in a space where he's reading every comment and everyone is trolling him. That's a lot to deal with for anybody. You would be salty on that side of it. Listen to what Garcia said there. He did this in a conversation that he actually had with Vodka and who was the other dude? Another dope ass rapper from Philly. He had a conversation with Black De Niro, my guy. So he's actually really talking the real to these guys. Like I just said a second ago, he's being transparent. You know what I mean? That's why people are messing with Garcia right now. Dude has been around since I was shooting interviews with O'Malley and Gilly the Kid back in 2012. You know what I mean? The dude waited his turn and now he's thriving. He was a real one. You know what I mean? Look what he's doing now. He was just on the Philly First 48. I think he was on there with That's Ryder. If I'm mistaken, drop it in the comments. But yeah, like I'm saying, right now, Mike Knox is salty, but how do you think Meek Mill feels? How do you think Meek Mill feels when he's getting that notification in his phone? Oh, here's another mile-long post from Mike Knox, the guy who's supposed to be my friend. Yeah, Mike Knox said, I see the memes they're doing. If that's what you got to do to get your money or get your attention, this is what comes with it. You can't throw punches and not expect to get punched back. Well, homie, from what I understand, you didn't throw not one punch. Just like Rick Ross didn't throw not one punch. He didn't throw one. You apologized without throwing a punch. So from where I sit, you didn't throw one punch. So I don't know what the hell you're talking about. You apologized to a man who called your big homie a rat on the internet. That's what you did. You didn't apologize to Garcia. Garcia came there and y'all came to an understanding that you were going to apologize to Meek. Now that's what you got to do with it. I don't care about the whole topic of does it make you look soft? Does it make you look like a coward? I don't care about none of that. What I'm talking about is the fact that you directly endorsed who is supposed to be your big homie's enemy. That's the area, that's the angle I'm looking at it from. I don't give a damn about all that shit because you can be friends with somebody, but you can work with somebody else. You know what I'm saying? I'd be like, yo, Garcia, it's tough shit. We're going to have to do what we got to do. I mess with 50 Cent. And maybe if you came at Garcia like that, Garcia would have been like, you know what? This dude's standing on business. He's telling me he made Rob Meek because him and 50 are currently beefing. Maybe if you stood on business like that. But I don't know where your head's at. I don't know where your head's at right now. You was probably just all kinds of scared when they rolled up. Because I heard a couple stories about how it happened, where it happened, when it happened. I heard, and I've been watching too. So it all kind of makes sense. It all kind of makes sense to me how this whole thing played out. You did something a little bit too close to the time frame of when you just did an interview with Johnny Mac. You didn't need to be there. You didn't need to be there. But you got caught. And what's that interview do for you? Nothing. It doesn't do nothing for you, man, with your 50 Cent impersonations and shit. Mike Knox said, let's get to the money. What I'm not going to do is crash out because the internet feels like that. These people know I'm not pussy. They know I'm not a bitch. They know me. They know you. They know you're not a bitch. Dude, the problem is nobody knows you. What are you talking about? They know you. We know 50's story. We know Ja Rule's was a Jehovah's Witness. We know, you know what I mean? We know Rick Ross was a CO. We know Jay-Z put him on at first. We know Diddy came in and amplified his career. We know things about other artists. We don't know about you like that. What do we know? That you are the only G-Unit artist to get locked up because of bad credit cards? You know what I mean? What other artists from G-Unit got locked up for some bullshit like that, man? Like, come on, that's weak. That's weak. Yayo got locked up for holding guns. Bangum Smurf got locked up for broad day shootouts, man. You got locked up for fucking credit card shit? That's weak, man. That's what you had to do to get money? Bangum Smurf was out there either selling crack or selling domination CDs. Let's be real about it. Everyone else says it on the internet. Nah, homie. I stood my ground. That's the difference between me and Mike Knox. I stood my ground. At the end of my altercation, I stood up and I still was calling him out. At the end of Mike Knox's altercation, he was apologizing to the guy who just called his friend a rat. Me, I was ready to keep on going. I wasn't done. If I was Mike Knox, I would have said, Garcia, respectfully, you're going to have to put my face into that wall tonight. Respectfully. 50 Cent is the dude who put my music on power. 50 Cent is potentially the dude that's going to give me a role in one of his upcoming shows once he finds a spot for me. What role is he going to give you? The guy apologizing to Meek Mill now? Bro, first of all, Mike Knox been called me. Mike Knox been called me. I had conversations with Mike Knox when he was in the halfway house. So if Mike Knox could be real about that, we could talk about that. Mike Knox called me looking for my help. When he can admit that, then we can talk. That's the first thing he's going to have to do. Like the first thing you did was say you was G-Unit. First of all, everybody's been mad confused, homie. I didn't know if you was G-Unit or if you wanted to be Dream Chasers. Yep. Exactly. Yayo was the one who brought Mike Knox into the fold. But not even really. Because Mike Knox probably paid Tony Yayo for hosting. Everybody was paying people for hostings back then. Mike Knox, please come on the internet and tell us you didn't pay for the hosting from Tony Yayo either. Because everybody was getting them shits done for a couple $1,000s, man. Like, let's be real. Even Dice Peso came on my show and said that he actually, paid Jim Jones for a feature, and now he's working with Jim Jones. But let's be real about it. Dice Peso is actually working with Jim Jones. Mike Knox, I never seen a video in my life, Mike Knox featuring Tony Yayo. Maybe one. You must not, you must not really know about that stuff then, Ohio, whatever. You must not really know about that because I see little lames like you commented on my channel about stuff like that. And then like my boy will be like, they must not know about stuff like that because they don't really be knowing how that shit affects people if they say you're on that. So you don't even really know what you're talking about to be commenting something like that, little homie. I probably smoke more weed than your mama pays for your rent, though. You heard? I probably smoke more weed in a week than you could afford in a month. You can't afford it because you probably live in your mom's. If he makes a hit, he's good. I mean, he has a group, right? Oh, don't even tell me about the G-Unit Philly shit. That G-Unit Philly shit was so fake. Every time I ever talked to every time I ever talked to Tone Trump about G-Unit Philly, he never had nothing to say. Like, just being real. Like, I'll bring my homie on here who fell asleep during a Tone Trump interview. You know what I mean? I'll bring my homie on here who fell asleep. He fell asleep when I was interviewing Tone Trump, man. Lord have mercy. Jesus with this guy's boring ass interviews, man. But me and Tone Trump, we made a few hits, but we fell out because Tone Trump tried to hit me up and tell me to do a few things. And I was like, yo, Trump, man, chill out. I was like, chill out, Trump. I'm not no internet nerd, bro, like you usually be dealing with. But he didn't understand that. He didn't understand that. So Tone Trump just thought I was like some nerd, like computer kid or something like that, man. So we didn't really, but Tone Trump's a good dude. He gave me some cool ass merch that I'll never forget. Not even merch, just like cool ass shit that people had given him. We had a tight relationship and I was wrong about that one. You know what I mean? But Tone Trump, you know what I mean? I'm not even going to get into that today. Talking about Tone Trump is a goat. I'm not even going to touch that one today. You know what I mean? I'll talk about that a whole nother day if I really need to be real with you. Because, you know what I'm saying? I got a good heart. You know what I mean? And I work with a lot of these dudes to try to give them a light and shit like that. But then some people just be trying to take advantage of your kindness and shit like that. You know what I mean? Who is the best rapper in Philadelphia? The best rapper in Philadelphia? I mean, if we're talking about the top 5 list of all time, I mean, I told Cassidy to his face, Meek Mill is number 1. I told Cassidy that to his face. Meek Mill is number 1, so it's got to be Cassidy number 2, Beanie Siegel number 3. I feel like Cassidy had a little bit more of a mainstream run than Beanie Siegel. Beanie Siegel was getting locked up. Beanie Siegel was getting shot. You know what I mean? Beanie Siegel was going through some shit, you guys. Cassidy went through a little bit of shit, but also, I'm just going Meek, Cassidy, Beanie, Freeway, Gilly. That's my Philly top 5. Honorable mention is A.R. Rab, because that's my bro right there. You know what I'm saying? Oh, yeah. Oskino, I like it. I did an interview with Oskino, and he actually showed me some support. But then recently he was trying to talk about money for an interview, and I don't be doing that shit. I don't be paying for interviews and shit like that. I don't got time for that. I did too many interviews to be paying dudes for interviews. I don't got time to be paying for interviews. I'm not like these other dudes. If you want to come on and have a conversation with me, we can do that. And it'll be the best conversation you probably ever had. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of these dudes show me love on that. You know what I mean? But I don't be paying for interviews. I don't got time for that, man. I done came up from the gutter, come up from the projects, never had no money for shit. You know what I'm saying? So I'm definitely not spending my money like that. Like, that's just to be real. Some people don't understand it. Like, I just did an interview with this dude, Angry Fan. He's like, well, why don't you pay money for this and that? It's like, bro, don't be telling me what to spend my money on, man. Don't be telling me what I got to buy. You know what I'm saying? I buy what I need to buy in life. I ain't the type of person that goes and spends his money on bullshit. You know what I'm saying? I'm very intelligent about the way that I use my money. You know, but I am also a good person. Like, it was my bro's birthday the other day. I was trying to be like, yo, come on, let's go get a steak, man. What you mean? Let's go get a steak. Let me go get you something from the dispensary, man. Let's go have a good time. You know what I mean? But anyways, let's get down to it, man. So 50 Cent posted, he said, no, y'all got to see this. He said, I'm a turkey burger. This shit is getting wild out here. So 50 actually posts the video of Mike Knox. Not the video of Mike Knox, but the parody video of Mike Knox getting roughed up. And you could say what you want about this video, but the funny part about it is like it's almost verbatim to what happened with Mike Knox just being like, we had a serious conversation. I was out of line. I was out of pocket. I was disrespectful. I was on the Meek Mill hate train. Who is going to make a video saying they jumped on the Meek Mill hate train? I'm so sorry. I jumped on the Meek Mill hate train. That is so sad that they got that out of you, man. Come on, man. Keep your apologies short and sweet, man. Yo, I'm sorry. I messed up. My editors did some shit, man. My bad. I messed with you, man. You know what I mean? At least Mike Knox tried to do that, but he kept doing it for like 2.5 minutes. You think 50's ever going to let you talk in a meeting after that? 50 actually posted it up because there's a part of the video where he goes, you guys are grown men and I'm a turkey burger. I should have called you. I should have called Meek. There was another part, because that wasn't in Mike Knox's video, obviously. He wasn't saying some shit like that. And also there was another part that I found funny. He was like, I just wanted to tell you, do not play with the dream chasers or you will get chased. So that wasn't in the video either, but you know, they had added a couple comedic elements like that. So let's get to some of the other comments that were on 50's page. You know, I find this so hilarious as well that, you know, everyone can get their thoughts off on 50's page that has over 25 million live viewers. So that means your comments actually mean something on 50's page. So somebody said, 50 is the definition of standing on principles and morals. If he holds you down and helps you out and you cross him, it's a wrap for good. Wow. Interesting take. The definition of standing on principles. 50 stood on the principle of getting out of the hood. That's why he fired Bangum Smurf. You know, he didn't want Bangum Smurf to jeopardize his opportunity and a whole Bobby Shmurda situation take off, you know, where the police come and jeopardize their career, jeopardize their freedom, take them back to square one. So yeah, I could give 50 that in that regard. Standing on principles. What other principles has he standed on? I can't. He overworks his artists sometimes. You know what I mean? But he's just trying to create a business. You know what I mean? You look at some sports athletes are working a number of days of the year, you know, just in the training facilities, always being worked. That's how 50 was kind of working his label. What other principles has he stood on? Let me think. I just had one in my head of 50 actually standing on a principle. He kicked Young Buck out of the group, but he also gave him another opportunity. You know what I mean? Because he had love for Young Buck. That's the whole reason that he signed him back to G Unit to do the Terminate on Sight album. Someone said, this shouldn't be Mike and 50. This shouldn't be Mike and 50 was close. This make it weird now. We never apologize during the war, especially on camera. And Mike, a gun, no question. Now he gets over his head by his man 50. I didn't really understand that so much, but I could kind of piece it together a little bit there because he's basically saying you never apologize during a beef. And like I said, Meek Mill just went off on 50 Cent and said some foul shit. When you try to bring up Supreme and 50 Cent's beef, you know you've gone too far. You know what I mean? You know you've gone too far. And that was just stupid of Meek because 50 Cent has always really given Meek Mill an opportunity to be his friend. Let's be real about it. 50 has always given Meek Mill an opportunity to be cool with him, even though he messed with Ross. Come on. And you're going to say some shit like that about 50? You know what I mean? Come on. That's some bullshit, Meek. This guy has given you every opportunity, aside when Mike Knox allegedly put you on the phone with him prior to your signing with MMG. Then he didn't really give a shit about you. You know what I mean? But 50 Cent was never really in tune with signing the best artists. You got somebody like Young Thug out there, and 50 Cent takes no interest in this guy. You got Max B out there. 50 Cent takes no interest in this guy. You know what I mean? So 50 didn't have the best, you know what I mean, the best capabilities when it came to signing. Look what he did. He signed people like MOP and he signed people like Mobb Deep. And these are artists that we all love. You know what I mean? That's why 50 signed them, because he actually had a general interest rather than go out and finding the next big thing. He did give it a shot with Kid Kid. He wanted to sign Uncle Murda early on. So when Uncle Murda had Bullet out, he actually did want to sign him. Other talent was like The Game was a collaboration, you know, not necessarily something from 50 directly. It was a collaboration. Another person commented on 50's page, ain't too many members of G Unit left. And he's got a point. He's got a point. That's why I said Mike Knox, it's not like you're alone. You know what I mean? Mike Knox, it's not like you're alone. 50's kicked out many members of G Unit. 50 kicked Bangum Smurf out of G Unit. Who else did 50 kick out of G Unit? 50 Cent kicked Maserati Fox out of G Unit for running around telling everybody they were in G Unit. Well, Bangum Smurf kicked himself out of G Unit. I'll say that. Let me take that back, Smurf. You kicked yourself out of G Unit, homie, because 50 called you and said, yo, put the G Unit logo on Domination's mixtape. And for some reason that I will never understand, 50 didn't want to put the G Unit logo on Domination's project. What? What? This isn't Jay-Z trying to sign MOP before The Rock, when The Rock was a pebble. You know what I mean? This is Banglam Smurf turning down 50 to put the G Unit logo on Domination's project. Let's move on though. So after that, 2005-ish, what are we in? 2006 probably now. He kicked the Maserati Fox out of G Unit for being reckless as hell, telling everybody they were in G Unit, telling the whole world they were starting G Unit bikes. Then I guess the next one would probably, oh no, Maserati Fox was still repping G Unit, but he just probably wasn't G Unit officially anymore. Then he kicked Young Buck out of G Unit. I missed the game. He kicked the game out of G Unit in 2005. That was after Smurf. That was directly after Smurf. So my timeline is all off. So the second one was actually the game that he kicked out of G Unit after Smurf, and then Maserati Fox or Buck. Was Buck brought back? Yeah, so that was kind of like the order of it. Who got kicked out next after Buck? Buck got brought back, kicked out again. Lloyd Banks left. G Unit, Tony Ayo got left out to dry for a certain amount of time, to the point where he called himself spoiled milk. But yeah, let me move to the next comment. Somebody said the self handshake was crazy. Someone also commented, Mike's shirts always look balled up. They mistook that for somebody gripping him up, when that's how his tees be. All right, sure. Nobody believes that. I'm sorry. I mean, my tee was all messed up and everybody thought it was from freaking Tony Sunshine. You know what I mean? It's like, no. I was out in New York for like 6 or 7 hours that day. I was filming Herb McGruff in Harlem. You know what I mean? And then I was filming Murder Mook. My shirt was like that because I was sweaty from the environment. So nobody's ever going to believe that. So another person wrote, sometimes it's better just to get jumped, because this is a bad John. J-A-W-N, it's a Philly slang term, like joint, but John. This sometimes it's better just to get jumped, because this is bad. Yeah, it was bad, man. It was really bad. It was so bad. It was on the level of bad as the Young Buck released phone call. Like, it was that level of bad. You could put it right there. Mike Knox, congratulations. You have made G Unit history. You made G Unit history, Mike Knox, because now you are definitely up with the top members of G Unit to ever be kicked out, and in the most embarrassing fashion. You know what I mean? The game got kicked out on he got kicked out on a radio interview. Young Buck got kicked out when 50 released his audio. You got kicked out after getting made to apologize. 40 Glock got kicked out after the game whooped his ass. Who's another one? Who's another one that can make the list? Someone else said, I wonder how Mike Knox is feeling seeing this, and do he still have a job doing security for 50 Cent? What? Mike Knox, was your G Unit contract for security? Let's be real. Was your G Unit contract actually for security? I need to know. Did you have a G Unit security? I could see 50 doing G Unit security, especially after Fat Joe called it out at the VMAs 2006. 50 should have started G Unit security right after that. That would have been great. Hit that like button if you're still in here, man. Appreciate y'all tapping in on the podcast today. I had to go in on this one when my bro hit me up and said, yo, 50 unfollowed Mike Knox officially. Someone commented, this is why I love 50. He just don't give up. Another person commented, I don't know why they were saying this either. I'm happy you posted this with all these laughing emojis. I'm happy you posted this and not just certain shit. Respect. Like I said, I think 50 actually posted this because of what happened with Rick Ross, and 50 needed to save face. Oh, this other dude commented, Mike made the unit look bad, including himself. So not only did he make the unit look bad, or not only did he make himself look bad, but he made the company that 50 Cent endorses, created, look bad. Someone said, yeah, I knew at 50 Cent wasn't effing with that after he apologized. People already know how 50 operates, you guys. Subscribe to the channel right now if you're not subscribed, man. You know I do live videos like this all the time. I knew 50 wasn't effing with this after he apologized. This man wasn't thinking. Like another person in the comments says, sometimes it's better just to get jumped. Everybody can say what they want about me, but you ain't going to catch me apologizing to Leak Moss. Number one, I had no reason to apologize. Number one, you want to come at me, a guy that actually got you the only features you ever had in your career? It is what it is, man. But I'm way past that shit. You know what I mean? But y'all already know that. Because today we're on here talking about Mike Knox, who obviously doesn't learn from experience. Come on, you saw me putting up the way I put up, getting up, standing up, still calling for more. You couldn't wait to send them dudes home in the Uber. You paid for their Uber home too? Hey guys, y'all just embarrassed me and I'm going to Uber you home just so I know you're getting the hell away from me. Oh, damn. Someone says, welp, now Knox got to get that G unit tattoo removed. You got to get the. Why'd you even get a G unit tattoo in the first place, man? Someone in the chat just put up a cool comment. It said Mike had apologized to Meek, then dissed him, then apologized again. Sounds exactly how Bang'em sounded, making choices based off emotions. Wow. And now they're saying that you sound like Bang'em Smurf. Now they're saying that you sound like Bang'em Smurf. Apologize, and then you're not sorry. Then you're sorry again. Then you want to be friends. Then you want to try to diss him to get clouts to see how many views you'll get. Mike, come on, man. Didn't you learn anything while you was locked up? Didn't you learn anything while you was locked up, man? You come out here still on that seesaw shit. You're still on that switch side shit. You're still trying to play Maybach music on this side and 50 on this side. Your man, your guy at 20 years, they all rock with MMG. Your boss, he doesn't. It's time that you make your choice. It's not smart what you did, man. You made yourself look crazy to both groups, and that's why you never got nowhere. Meek couldn't take you serious. 50 couldn't take you serious. You played yourself. You played yourself, man. How you going to play yourself like that, Mike Knox? Played yourself out of a good opportunity. Someone also commented, not going to lie, no, y'all got to see this. He said, I'm a Turk. Oh, no, that was 50's comment, actually. Am I getting repeat comments? Okay, no, let me go past this. Someone also commented, Knox ruined that little name he had. Mike Knox ruined the little name that he had. You see what they're saying about you, Mike? And this is on 50's page. So imagine 50 ever posts another video of you on his page. He can't. He can't now. You will never have another video with 50 Cent. All because you didn't want to man up. And you want to know what, homie? If you would have stood 10 toes down, salute to my bro. If you would have stood 10 toes down, 50 probably would have called you the next day. All the real ones that actually do care about you would have called you the very next day, like Tony Yayo, all them dudes, if they really do care about you. Someone said, this shouldn't be Mike. Oh, no. Yep, that'll do it. That's all the comments that I got. So, yeah, if y'all have any open comments in the chat, y'all can post questions right now. If y'all have any questions you want me to answer. If anybody wants a follow back on Instagram, you can click the link that's in the description. It's Mikey T _ the movie star on Instagram. If anybody wants to follow me, I'll follow you guys back, man. Definitely appreciate everybody tapping in on the live videos. Make sure you're subscribed to the channel so you don't miss any of my live breaking news videos. You know, I do cover all the topics that are breaking in mainstream hip hop. I also put out my own interviews. Currently running the Throwback Capone interview, Capone and Noriega, CNN. You know what I'm saying? One of the best groups, one of the best duos to ever do it. I got a new interview with West Coast legend Razcast dropping pretty soon this week. I got a new interview with Top Floor Loot dropping this week as well. The Battle Academy. You know what I mean? I'm doing a lot of work, you guys. I'm staying active and I'm putting out new content. Someone said Mike Knox isn't a rapper. He is a goon. That's how I looked at it at first, to be real with you. I looked at it like he was a goon. You know what I mean? Because there was one video when Mike Knox freaked out on Queen's Flip, an interviewer. So I did a video on it like, yo, 50 Cent's goon Mike Knox. But of course, that's way before or way after I talked to Mike Knox. I always knew Mike Knox because I follow hip hop. I always knew Mike Knox from when he first got affiliated with G Unit after doing that work with Yayo. You know what I mean? You just can't find out too much about it. You can't find out too much about G Unit Philly. But then over the course of doing your research, you find out that this man, Mike Knox, actually created G Unit Philly when he was supposed to be the one that was to be a front runner as an artist on G Unit Philly, and he wanted to start a group. Like, what? What? When he starts actually running around with 50, he puts Meek Mill on the phone with 50. Bro, this is your opportunity. Take it. But yeah, that's the video for today, you guys. I appreciate y'all. Appreciate y'all for tapping in. Someone said you think Knox is going to rep DC now? He's going to rep DC now? That's funny as hell. I don't even think they'll let him rep DC, to be honest with you. It wouldn't make sense. I don't even think they'll let Mike Knox rep DC. But like I said to start this video off, Mike Knox, you are the weakest link. I'm up out of here, though, guys. Make sure you like, subscribe, drop a comment. You know what I'm saying? And stay in tune. Wait till the next video. You guys won't believe what I'm reporting on next. It's about to be crazy. I'm out of here, though.